All right. As Mako led me towards the garden of the impressive mansion, she seemed a little quiet, as though she had something on her mind. I wanted to ask her about it, but something about the way her ears sagged and her tail hung low told me that it probably wasn't the best idea. I decided I would simply try to cheer her up. So, which do you prefer, Mako-chan? Apples, grapes, or oranges? We could gather all three, but I bet we can grab a few for ourselves first. Apples, I guess. I knew a fox spirit once, a friend of Onisama, who loved apples. I can't remember her name, though. I guess my head's a bit hollow. Apples are awesome. Crunchy on the outside, sweet on the inside. And your head isn't hollow, silly. If that was true, I think I'd still be stuck in that jail cell. Onisama did most of the thinking, though. I just sort of went along with what she said. Well, someone had to take the lead. Besides, I'm still grateful for your help all the same. How about... I playfully flicked Mako's forehead with a grin. See? It doesn't sound hollow at all. I'm sure there's plenty of clever thoughts in that pretty little head of yours. Ow! Meanie! Now you know I'm right, at least. Anyway, let's get those apples, shall we? Okay, I'll get them. I'll get them! You go grab the basket over there. Alright, let's get down to business. Feeling hyped, I went to grab one of the baskets stacked nearby and returned to Mako, who had started climbing one of the trees. The girl looked accustomed to climbing, but her small hands had me a bit worried. Hanging from the branch with just her legs, she checked to see if the apples were ripe. Mako-chan, be careful. You might slip. Ow! The girl had thrown an apple at me, and while my reflexes let me catch it with ease, the force behind it still stung my palm a little. Of course, I did exaggerate a bit for the girl. Ha! I'll be fine, Taka-kun. I've been climbing these trees all my life. Even the most experienced climbers end up running into trouble if they aren't careful. I smiled weakly at the girl's excited attitude, placing the apple I caught into the basket. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm a fox spirit. I won't fall. I'm super careful. Watch, I'll grab the apples near the top. Wait, Mako-chan. Unless you can fly, I don't think you should go for those. Fly? I can't do that, silly Taka-kun. Who has ever heard of a flying fox spirit? Ah! As expected, the moment Mako tried to reach for one of the apples near the top of the tree, the girl ended up losing her footing and tumbled down towards the ground with a loud cry. Mako! My reflexes suddenly kicked themselves into gear, trying to catch the girl before she hit the ground. Unfortunately, I didn't notice the apples scattered around the tree, and as a result, ended up tripping over them. I managed another few steps and was able to catch Mako before I dropped to the ground. My head was throbbing once I recovered from the fall. I tried to sit up, but found myself held down by a small but substantial weight. Opening my eyes, I looked to see Mako sitting on my lap. Owie! I guess I tried to reach a bit too far. Thank you, Takahiro. You saved me. And you gave me a soft, well, kinda soft, kinda hard landing. Mako-chan, do you mind? You're crushing me. What? Oh my gosh, Takahiro, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. As the younger girl grew increasingly flustered, I knew I had to calm her down. Gently, I lifted my legs beneath her, and she toppled forwards, her head resting against my chest. I guess we've learned that fox spirits can be pretty clumsy, or maybe that Mako is even cuter up close than I had thought. What? Takahiro, I think you're mistaking me for Onisama. Nope, I'm talking about you. You have that innocent side to you that's really charming. I wouldn't be surprised if lots of people from the village would want to claim you as their adorable little sister once we clean up those misunderstandings. I'd be happy to call you my brother, Takahiro, but lots of people in that village are super mean. I just want to spend time with you and Onisama. Brother? How about darling? Darling? I don't know if I'm ready for that. Really? I think we'd be a cute couple. A hero and a fox spirit, living happily ever after. Your sister could stay too. We could raise a little family. I mean, we already have a house, so we wouldn't have to worry about that. And any guy from my world would kill to have a pretty wife like you. I held back a chuckle, knowing all too well what my teasing was taking an effect, and yet I was also happy to see her spirits seemingly lifted. Thank you, Takani. I think Taka-kun would be better. Machiko-san probably wouldn't like another sibling, but I'm glad you cheered up. You didn't seem happy earlier. The way your tail and ears were hanging low reminded me of a scolded puppy.